Hey guys, welcome to the video. Thanks for joining today. Today I'm going to do a training update. This is weeks 16 and 17 of me preparing for the Badger 100 miler that's taking place on August 3rd, 2024. It starts in Orangeville, Illinois, and ends in Belleville, Wisconsin. It's mostly run in Wisconsin. I'm going to report on the last 2 weeks. They're weeks 16 and 17 of my training. I definitely did not get in the volume I was hoping for, but I guess we'll count it as a taper. And I would rather go in underprepared than overtrained. So that's kind of the way I'm looking at it. I'm trying to have a positive attitude. I knew I was going to be a little bit low on week 16, the week that we went to New York to see my wife's family. It ended up a little bit worse than even I had anticipated. We stayed in a different part of town than I'm used to being in up there, and it wasn't quite as conducive to running. And then I thought, well, I'll run on the treadmill in the hotel, and it was really pretty well broken. So it kind of cut down on the training a lot. So on that week, I ran 6.1 miles on Tuesday and walked 1.4. On Wednesday, I just walked 7.2 miles total. Thursday, I walked 4 miles, and that's the day we flew to New York, and we had some flight delays, so most of that 4 miles of walking was just a lot of walking in the airport. Friday, I went down, I tried to do the treadmill. I ended up walking like half a mile, and I did cycling in there, and the cycle wasn't working very good either, so I only did about 10 minutes. That's all I did on Friday. Saturday morning, I did get out on some local streets for a little bit. I did 2.4 miles of running. Sunday, we were out at the my wife's relatives have a farm out in Walton. Several of them live there, and we went out there and visited. It was beautiful. Great weather, a gorgeous day. We went up, but we mostly rode four-wheelers up the mountain, spent some good time visiting. I did get in about 2.5 miles of hiking around, but that was it for Sunday. So that week ending my week 16, I ended up running 8.5 and walking 15.5. So very light week, but it's okay. And then this week ending July 28th. Today is Sunday, July 28th. This will be coming out on the 29th. I went out, I walked 5 miles on Monday. We flew home that day from New York, and I just went for a walk that evening. Tuesday morning I got up, I ran 6.1 miles, and later I walked 1.1 miles. Wednesday I ran 5 and then walked 3.7. Thursday I ended up with officially running 3.1 and walking 3.3. Now that consisted of a short walk in the morning, and then I went to do the Trinity 5000, that series of 5K races I'm doing along the Trinity River throughout this summer. That was actually pretty encouraging. Still a pretty slow time. I ran 27:29, but that tied my best time of the summer, so I find that encouraging. And then I just walked a bit afterwards, so that's how I ended up with 3.1 of running and 3.3 of walking for the day. Friday I went for a 5-mile run, and really that consisted of a short run in the morning of a couple miles, and then went out to, I was working volunteering at a race that I've done in the past, the Texas Endurance Runs. There's each summer in the blazing heat of Texas. There's a 24 and a 48-hour race that are put on by Wrath Racing. My friends Kay and John are the race directors. Anyway, this year I wasn't going to run it since I had the Badger the following weekend, but I went out there and volunteered. I was supposed to volunteer from 4 till 9. I ended up staying until 7:30. But I did quite a bit of walking around, helping set up tents and tables, and timing things out to the course. And anyway, but then I just had so many friends that were out there doing the race that, and the loops were like 1.25. So I don't remember if it was 5 or 6 of the loops. I would just do a loop with a friend and then come back and do a loop with another friend. So a lot of those loops I did mostly walking. But so for the day on Friday, oh, that's actually wrong. I ran 5 on Friday morning, and then where it says 10.4 walking, it was actually I figured 3 nights on Friday night and walked 7.4. But anyway, so it was still a 15-mile day, probably half running, half walking. 5, 6, 11, 14. Yeah. And then Saturday I just walked 3.3, and today I'm going to end up with 4.4 walking. So really light week again, but I ended up with 22.3 running and it's going to end up like 28.2 walking. So a 50-mile week, but an awful lot of it walking. But anyway, we'll just call it, like I said, the taper. As far as the race this week, we leave town on Thursday. We fly up to Wisconsin. The race starts early Saturday morning. Friday we'll do some driving around and previewing the course, and go check in and take my drop bags to the race to distribute to different places along the course, and then get up, and starting at 6 a.m. on Saturday morning the race starts. Anyway, that's really it for my training update. Please give me good wishes. I need all the good karma I can get. I'm kind of concerned about this one just because I've really had trouble training in the heat in Texas, heat and humidity. So we're going to see how it goes. The forecast right now is for us to wake up to it being like 67 that morning and getting up to 84. It does look like it's going to be fairly humid, and then it might get a little bit cooler, something like 62 or 64 overnight going into Sunday morning. There's a 36-hour time limit, and my really only goal is to finish. I'd like to finish in under 30 hours, but as long as I finish, I'll be satisfied enough. Anyway, that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please consider hitting the thumbs up. If you're interested in seeing how I do at the Badger, please consider subscribing to the channel or coming back and following some of my other adventures. Other than that, I hope you are having a wonderful weekend, and keep moving.